You're listening to Fast Facts Perio Edition. And now, here's your host, Katrina Sanders.
Hello, and welcome to Fast Facts Perio Edition. This week is our last episode of a series I started to celebrate our dental hygiene students who are we all remember it, panicking, freaking out, going to bed every night, hugging their Esther Wilkins textbook in hopes, in dreams that someday they will see that passing national boards exam. And I thought no better way for us to celebrate them than to study alongside them. So this is our final week in Are You Smarter Than a Dental Hygiene Student Preparing to Take Their National Boards Exam? And this week we are looking at sulcular fluid. I know, how exciting is that? I know that's what you're all thinking. So our sulcular fluid is a serum-like fluid, and this serum-like fluid is considered a fluid that is generated by the body as a means of providing protection. So this serum-like fluid actually comes from that gingival connective tissue. We learned a few weeks ago that sometimes we can call that a lamina propria. So this fluid comes from the gingival connective tissue, and it gently flows into the gingival crevice or sulcus. So we can call this sulcular fluid, we can call it crevicular fluid, sometimes we can call it gingival crevicular fluid. Again, 8 million terms for the same thing, which gotta love science for that one. Inside of this sulcular fluid, we have elements like calcium and sodium or potassium or phosphorus, along with cells and in some cases, bacteria. The important thing to think about is the bacteria included within this fluid. Is that health-producing bacteria? Is that disease-producing bacteria? What type of bacteria is that? The purpose of our sulcular fluid is really to cleanse the sulcus. And that is exactly what it does well. However, it also can have a destructive component to it. So here's the thing. The rate of passage of this sulcular fluid is deeply dependent on the presence or absence of inflammation or infection in the connective tissue. If there is no inflammation or infection in the connective tissue, there will be very minimal sulcular fluid, or in some cases, even absence of sulcular fluid. However, as inflammation or infection starts to develop within the connective tissue, and that, of course, would be from plaque accumulation, right? Biofilm induced. So as that inflammation or that infection starts to increase, so will the flow or the amount of gingival crevicular fluid in that area. And that is done intentionally because, again, it is intended to be protective in nature. It is supposed to cleanse or clean out the sulcus. So here's what happens. When there is disease, infection, or inflammation, the body starts to send more crevicular fluid. It thinks more cleaning. We need to clean that area. We got to cleanse out that sulcus. However, what happens is this crevicular fluid or this sulcular fluid provides a source of nutrients for subgingival bacteria, and it will also support the formation of subgingival calculus. Remember, it has calcium, sodium, potassium, and phosphorus. So it has those crystalline minerals within it that allow for plaque to become mineralized. Interestingly enough as well, we know that there are certain antibiotics that can be concentrated within this fluid, which is why in perio, we like to look at anything in the tetracycline family, doxycycline or minocycline, for example, because in a state of infection or inflammation, we will see higher concentrations of this fluid. But if we can get a tetracycline into this fluid, now this fluid is not as destructive. It's not going to provide a nutrient source for the bacteria. It's going to provide an antibiotic that has anti-collagenase properties to it, which of course provides some incredible support for us in fighting a chronic inflammatory condition like periodontitis. With that, I think we've thrown down this month on an incredible survey of the things that we all needed to know in order to be successful on our national boards exam. My name is Katrina Sanders, but from all of us practicing dental hygienists, we say to all of you dental hygiene students, keep fighting the good fight. We are so proud of you. You have a few more exams. You will get there, we promise. And let us be the first to say, welcome to the profession. This has been another episode of Fast Facts Perio Edition with Katrina Sanders. Please feel free to reach me on Instagram at The Dental Hygienist or on my website, www.katrinasanders.com. Cheers.